RUSI has launched a new project focused on UK engagement in Eastern Africa. Following the announcement that the UK would leave the EU, assurances were given that the country would keep a high profile, so-called Global Britain, and would even strengthen relationships in parts of the world where there were historic ties. In 2021, phrases like Global Britain were made more specific in documents like the UK's Integrated Review of Security, Defence, Development and Foreign Policy, and later by strategies on defence and international development. Eastern Africa was listed as a priority, and a policy direction was set towards thinking in a more joined-up way across trade, defence, international development and other issues, whilst recommitting to being a good partner for others. Well, a lot's changed since those commitments were made in 2020, and even more has changed since the first mention of Global Britain in the years before that. For one thing, the priorities have shifted. There's more attention on Europe than there is on Africa, and there are fewer resources available, including a decision to drop aid spend from 0.7% of gross national income to 0.5% for the foreseeable future. The government's foreign policy toolkit has also changed. The UK Independent Aid Ministry, Department for International Development, and the Foreign Office have merged. And of course, there's now a very different relationship with the EU. Given all of this, our project takes stock of the perceptions and the realities around UK involvement in key parts of East Africa. Our researchers are studying the UK's main foreign policy, development, and defence activities in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan. They're analysing official data and reports. They're interviewing hundreds of experts who've seen the UK's work up close, whether they work in government, academia, business, media, or other sectors. We want to know whether the ambitions to maintain the UK's global standing and its relationships in East Africa and to think and act in a more integrated way are on track. We're asking how the UK is seen by the countries of the region and how it's judged against comparators. We're asking whether things like Brexit, aid cuts, and the creation of the new FCDO, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, are making any difference. We'll be putting out publications regularly over the next 6 months, from commentaries to country reports, hosting events, webinars, podcasts, and more. To find out more, you can visit the RUSI website, you can search for Further in Global Britain, or just East Africa.